What's going on, y'all? It's TKJ. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate y'all for stopping by, man. I'm doing a realistic rebuild of the Memphis Grizzlies, whose season just ended with a 4-2 loss to the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round of the playoffs. The goal is to win a championship within the first 3 seasons. If I can't do it during that time, then the video won't end until eventually I do. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't, and without any further ado, it's time to get into this video, man.
Let's get it.
So the Grizzlies are one of the better young up-and-coming teams. They've had some success in the regular season for the past few years. However, it hasn't really translated to much success in the postseason. A lot of people thought this might be the year. However, they got a bad match in the first round against a Lakers team that's much better than a 7th seed. I mean, they've been playing really good basketball since the trade deadline, since they made all of those moves. So they ended up getting bounced in 6. Just a really tough break for them. But at the end of the day, man, this team has a lot going for it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the roster here. Ja Morant, the star of the show. He's only 23 years old, former 2nd overall pick in 2019. 26 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. Some of these stats are a little bit off because 2K still has not fixed start today mode. So yeah, some of these games might be actually simulated rather than the real stats, but it's close enough, man. Just know this guy's a hooper, obviously elite at finishing around the rim, freak athlete. Obviously, he missed a lot of time towards the end of the regular season due to suspension. You guys know the whole deal with that. But still, hopefully he can put that past him, and he's definitely going to be the face of this franchise as we try to win a championship. At the 2, we got Desmond Bane, who I think is a really nice complementary player because, like I said, Ja Morant can get to the rim at will. He's really good at penetrating, and when you're kicking that ball out, man, there's not too many players that you'd rather kick it out to than Desmond Bane. 40.7% shooting from deep this season, 43 the previous year, and 43 the year before that. He is a shooter, man. He definitely plays a really large role on this team. I think it's a good pairing with Ja Morant. However, I still want like another shot creator on this team. Desmond Bane isn't that, at least just yet in his career. So that's something we are going to be looking to address. We'll get into that in a bit. But putting that aside, Bane is for sure somebody who I want to keep because, yeah, man, that 3-point shooting is really important. At the 3, we got Dillon Brooks, and I'm not sure if I want to keep him. Actually, I'm pretty sure that I don't as we take a look at the stats. 14 points this season, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. We do round up around here. Can't really shoot the ball too well. Been below league average for the past few seasons here. And obviously, you guys know what's been going on with Dillon Brooks. He decided to poke the bear, talking trash with LeBron James, saying he's old and he won't respect him till he drops 40. Man, I have no problem with having a guy on your team who has an edge, who's fiery, who's a trash talker. That's totally fine. But if you're going to be that guy, you got to do 2 things, man. 1, you got to know to pick your fights. And 2, when you do pick those fights, you better back it up. And Dillon Brooks, 1, picked the bad fight going up against LeBron James. Not a good idea. And then he definitely did not back it up because he wasn't performing well in the postseason. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent this offseason. And honestly, man, I don't think I want to bring him back. He's just writing too many checks with his mouth that he's not cashing. I just think it's a distraction for a team that already has enough drama going on with them. Ja Morant being one example of it. I just don't think they need Dillon Brooks on the team, man. So I am going to try to move on from him. And even if we were to keep him, small forward is definitely the position that I really want to upgrade with the starting unit. So that's something to also think about. At the 4, we got Jaren Jackson Jr., Defensive Player of the Year this season. Shout out to him as we take a look at his stats. He was hooping this year, man. 19.7 rebounds, 3 blocks per game, shooting above league average from deep for the first time in the past 3 seasons. I said it earlier, I think I really want to get another shot creator, a go-to scoring option outside of Ja Morant, because a lot of teams are just going to make it their goal to shut down Ja. Having somebody else who can create for himself and really be that number 2 option, I think I'm going to have to trade for somebody like that. However, to Jaren's credit, man, he did some good things in this playoffs. There were many times where he was calling for the ball and he was just attacking the Lakers. Obviously, we know what he can do on the defense side of the ball, but I am intrigued to see just how much we can get out of him on offense. If I like what I see, we'll probably roll with him as our number 2 option. If not, we're probably going to look to bring somebody else in. At the 5, we got Xavier Tillman, just because Steven Adams is injured right now. 2nd round pick, man, in 2020. Shout out to him. Got his opportunity, is making the most of it. He's just a physical guy, 6'7", but he plays above his size and was even giving Anthony Davis some problems down low during this most recent series. So shout out to him, man. He's 24 years old. And as we take a look at his contract here, we do have a team option for the next season. After that, we'll just see what his asking price is, how he's progressing, stuff like that. That'll kind of determine what his future is looking like with this team. Off the bench, we got Tyus Jones, the best backup point guard in the league, man. That decision making is elite, as good as it gets, honestly, in the entire league. 5 assists per game, compared to 1 turnover per game. I mean, just an insane ratio. He's been doing this his entire career, as you can see. Just a really smart guy who plays within the system, doesn't make the wrong play, which is all that I'm really looking for out of a backup point guard. Now, my only question is how much money is he going to want after this next season? I would love to keep him as our backup point guard for this entire rebuild. That would be ideal, but if he's asking too much money, then that might be tough. I don't think he will, but we'll just have to see, man. Either way, definitely like me some Tyus Jones. Then we got a young forward here in Santi Aldama, 22 years old, former first-round pick in 2021. Got him locked up on his rookie contract, so a really good steal for us for the next 2 seasons, 77 overall. Definitely think he's going to be a nice piece off the bench, especially because he's able to space the floor, man. 7-footer who's able to play the 4 or the 5 and shooting league average from deep this season. That's really nice, man. I think we're going to be limited financially because when you look at the starting lineup, John Morant's already getting paid. Desmond Bane is going to get paid. Jaren Jackson Jr. is now getting paid. We're going to bring in another starter probably at small forward who will be getting paid. I've got a few guys in mind. So yeah, man, I'm looking for budget deals off the bench. Santi Aldama is definitely one of them. If I can keep him on the team for cheap, then I definitely will. We also got Luke Kennard, and he's not very cheap. I definitely think there's some value for him because of the 3-point shooting that he provides. As you take a look at this, I mean, that's just what he does, man. Like, that is the big selling point for Luke Kennard. But when you take a look at that contract, man, 15 M's next season and then a team option for 15 the year after that. If I am looking to upgrade my starting lineup, Luke Kennard is probably the guy that I'll have to use in the trade as salary filler. Again, I don't know who I want to get, but he is one of our biggest contracts outside of like our main core. So he's probably going to end up getting moved just because that's the way it works out. Now we're kind of getting into this range of guys who don't really have roles because there are 2 guys here that are injured. We are going to be turning injuries off for the rest of this rebuild. It's just this way because that's what it is this season. But yeah, Brandon Clark is definitely somebody who's going to be a nice cheap player off the bench. Like I said, man, we need guys on budget deals, and Brandon Clark is definitely one of those guys. 12.5 flat for the next 4 seasons. That's really nice. He's 26 years old, actually 78 overall. He can play a little bit of the 4, he can play a little bit of the 5. Pretty much is just replacing the role that Xavier Tillman has right now. I like me some Brandon Clark, man. I would like him a lot more if he could space the floor better. I just prefer that out of kind of undersized bigs, you know, being 6'8". But at the end of the day, he's still a solid rim protector, plays above his height, so I can't be too mad at it. And then speaking of height, man, we got Steven Adams, the 6'11" bruiser down low. I think he's really the defensive anchor. Obviously, Jaren Jackson is defensive player of the year, but Steven Adams provides that brute force, that physicality at the 5 that I think is really important for this team. They definitely were missing him this postseason alongside a guy like Brandon Clark. They were really hurting in the front court. And I think what's really interesting, man, is that a lot of people just think Steven Adams is the old man of the group. He definitely is one of the older guys, but 29 years old, as long as he doesn't regress, he might just be our starting center for this entire rebuild for all 3 seasons. If he goes down, I'll replace him. If not, I think we might be solid, man, because again, he's not making a whole lot of money, which is very important for us. 12.6 M's for the next 2 seasons. It's going to be hard to find an upgrade who's making less money than that. So I think we might just have to stick with Steven Adams. We'll have to see how that plays out. Now we come back over here and take a look at the rest of this. It's not a lot of guys that I'm too concerned about. David Roddy, former first-round pick in 2022. He's not making much money for the next few seasons, so that's great. But I'm going to have to see some progression out of him in order for him to carve out a role, especially as like another undersized wing player, man. A small forward, power forward who's 6'4". I don't love it, especially if you're not knocking down the 3-point shot, which he's not. He shot 30% this past season. Then we got Zaire Williams, who I was actually really high on after his rookie year. Like, he showed some really good flashes, especially in the playoffs last season. I thought he looked pretty solid for them. A shooting guard, small forward with some good size, which we don't have a lot of that. 6'9", 21 years old, first round pick. He was 10th overall. However, this season just really took a step back. The shot has fallen off. It already wasn't too good. But yeah, efficiency has just gone down. Maybe it's just a sophomore slump. Hopefully that's all it is. But he's going to have to progress if he's going to carve out a role. And if he doesn't, he might be somebody that we have to throw in for a trade in order to get that upgrade at small forward. So we'll see how that plays out as well. Then we got John Conchar, who's normally a shooter, had a bit of a down year, below league average for the first time in his career, which is a bit disappointing. 72 overall, 27 years old, undrafted guy. I don't think his ceiling is very high here in 2K. I'm not expecting him to progress a whole lot, so he's not really a part of our future plans. Then we got Jake LaRavia. This is a first round pick, 19th overall in 2022. The shot's going to have to come along, man. He's going to have to get more efficient. And definitely he's going to have to progress more if he's going to carve out a role. Also got Kennedy Chandler. This is another young guy, 20 years old, second round pick. Like, if we can just get a few of these guys to develop and really turn into rotational players, that would be great. I don't think many of them will, but that's fine because I think we already have a pretty solid, like, 8 to 9 man rotation. So if we can just get some of these guys to hit, that would be great. If not, then it is what it is. And yeah, man, that is a look at the team here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our 3-year game plan, which obviously will start next season. That'll be season number 1. For the first year, man, is what I said earlier. I want to upgrade our small forward, and I want to make the Western Conference Finals. I think that's something we can achieve in our first year. Again, I don't know who I'm going to bring in for our small forward, but he will be somebody who can create for himself, who can be that number 2 scoring option on some nights. I think if we do that, man, that starting lineup is going to look really good. Hopefully we don't deplete the bench too much in the process. And yeah, man, I think we can finally translate this into some real postseason success and get to the Western Conference Finals. That'd be a really big step for this young team. For the second season, I just want to assess our starting center situation, and then I want to try to win a championship. That's the ultimate goal for season number 2. I don't know if I'm going to keep Steven Adams. Like I said, it's really going to depend on just how much he regresses. If he stays put at like an 80 and we're winning games, then we'll probably keep him, because again, it's going to be hard to find a better option who's making less money. But if he's down at like a 78, a 77, and we're losing games, then that's definitely going to be the position that I really want to upgrade for season number 2. I am limiting myself to 3 trades per season, 2 trades per offseason, by the way. And then for season number 3, it's very simple. Buy if needed. If we haven't won a championship by then I'd be much more willing to do some bigger trades. Maybe it's moving on from Desmond Bane. Maybe it's finally moving on from Tyus Jones, guys like that. Those are players who I don't want to trade, but if I haven't won by year 3, I'm going to be a little bit more willing to make a big move. So hopefully it doesn't come down to that, man. I really think we can win within the first 3 seasons. So let's go ahead and get into this thing, man. We're going to simulate the rest of the playoffs here. Let's go ahead and see how that plays out. Not like it really matters to us, as it's going to be the Celtics and the Nuggets. Give me the Celtics in 6 here, and never mind, it's a clean sweep. Jason Tatum, Finals MVP. All right, so we got the 25th pick in the draft. Nothing too crazy. Let's go to draft night and just see what we can do with it. So I'm here at the draft, and I think the guy I want to go with is Ricky Council IV out of Arkansas, 21 years old, 6'6". He's a little bit older, but I talked about it before. I really want to get some more shot creation, just guys who can create for themselves. Other than John Morant, Ricky Council is definitely one of those guys. So I think we're going to go with him, man. Let's go ahead and make that pick. All right, guys, so I'm looking around trying to find that upgraded small forward, and I think Mikal Bridges is the guy that I want. Now, granted, if this were the Phoenix version of Mikal Bridges, I probably wouldn't be looking for him, because I want a guy who can create for himself. He didn't show a whole lot of that with the Suns. Obviously, didn't need to, because he had Devin Booker on the team, Chris Paul as well. But since he got to Brooklyn, man, he has established himself as a guy who can get buckets, and then obviously he can also defend really well, which is important because we are going to be losing some of that, getting rid of Dillon Brooks. So I think this is just an all-around upgrade, man. We're going to try to pull this thing off here. We're going to go ahead and give them Luke Kennard, who is going to help make the money match. Not quite, but that's a good start. And it's an expiring deal, so they're going to get off the books here, which is really nice. Then we're also going to give them a young player here in Zaire Williams. Hopefully he can thrive in a new setting here. He's going to get every opportunity, so maybe there's something there. And then, man, we're just going to throw in some picks here to try to make this thing happen. I've got a few of them, and I'm willing to spend them in order to get Mikal Bridges. I'm willing to give them a 2024 first-round pick that's unprotected. That's this upcoming season. I'm willing to give them another 2024 one that really belongs to the Golden State Warriors that's top 3 protected. That'll definitely convey. And then I'll give them our own pick from 2025 that's also unprotected. So this is a lot. This is a lot, man. But if you're the Brooklyn Nets, as much as you love Mikal Bridges, I get it. He's Brooklyn Bridges, all that. He's 26 years old. Doesn't really fit the timeline too much. I think they'd much rather get, again, a young player here in Zaire Williams and then 3 first-round picks. This seems pretty good, man. Will they say yes to it? And they will. Mikal Bridges, welcome to the team. So now we're here in free agency, and honestly, I think I just need to get like some guards, small forwards, because we did lose that with Luke Kennard and Zaire Williams. So I'm going to try to bring in Bruce Brown. Granted, he's not the sharpshooter like Luke Kennard is, but still, man, has been shooting the ball really well the past 2 seasons, so that's nice. And we can get him for the low here. As we can see here, we don't have a whole lot of money, but we can definitely afford him. 26 years old, he shouldn't be regressing. We're going to make that a 2-year deal, and if I can save just a little bit, I will. We'll make it 5.5. There we go. So John Morant is up 4 to a 97. That's a really good sign for us. Jaren Jackson Jr. up 2 to an 88. We like that. Mikal Bridges stays put. That's okay. Desmond Bane up 2 to an 86. That's really nice, man. This is the core here for our future. And Steven Adams down 3 to a 79. You don't like to see it. I think we're going to run it back with him as our starting center for this season. But if he continues to regress, which I'm guessing he will, then we probably are going to have to look for a replacement next season. Taking a look at the rest of this, man, it's not a whole lot of green arrows. Like, we got a couple ones here, but I was really hoping to get a little bit out of this group here. Bruce Brown, Xavier Tillman, Brandon Clark, Santi Aldama. didn't get any progression. So super unfortunate, man. But let's go ahead and get this thing started. We got season number 1 where I think we can make some noise, man. Let's get into it. And honestly, man, I think we're set for season number 1. We got Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Mikal Bridges, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Steven Adams. That 5 spot is still a little bit shaky for me, man, but I think we're going to be okay because the rest of that starting lineup looks elite to me. Off the bench, we got Tyus Jones, we got Xavier Tillman, Brandon Clark, Santi Aldama, and Bruce Brown. I do wish I had a bit of like a small forward, power forward type, you know, like a 3-and-D type of guy, but I think it's going to work for right now. We got our backup point guard, we got our backup 2-3, and we just got a couple bigs here. It should work, man. I'm going to go to the trade deadline. If I need to make a move, then I will, but I think I feel pretty good about this, man. Let's go ahead and simulate the regular season and see how it plays out. So we got to the trade deadline and just kept going. Didn't need to make any moves because we finished 65-17, man. The guys were hooping. Luka Doncic's MVP. Do we have anything here that concerns us? Coach of the year? Yeah, that totally makes sense. Not exec of the year, which is interesting. Either way, I feel really good, man, and I feel even better. Ja Morant, All-NBA first team. That's a really good sign as well. Do we have anything else here? Jaren Jackson Jr. Hello, there we go. All defensive second team. I guess I'll take it, man. Yeah, I feel really good about this squad, man. Number 1 team in the Western Conference. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings here. Best record in the league. Our best competition is the Atlanta Hawks, who are 59-23. All right, man, let's go ahead and take a very quick look at the stats here before we get into simulating here. It's Ja Morant leading the way, 28 points, 7 rebounds, 11 assists, shooting that thing really well from the floor, even from deep, 38.9%. Mikal Bridges, 46.1%, man. Hey, shout out to 2K because for a while, Mikal Bridges just got no love in 2K, man. Like, he was terrible in Sim. Obviously, he's been hooping with the Nets. So they finally adjusted it, and now he's hooping here in 2K, man. 21 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Like we said, shooting that thing really well. That's great. Desmond Bane was also hooping, man. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Shooting that thing really well. Yeah, 41.9% from deep. That's nice. Jaren Jackson Jr. now a 90 overall. He had 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks. We round up around here. Yeah, man, the team looks pretty good. I feel great about this as we're going up against the Houston Rockets. Okay, made it out the play-in. Shout out to him. Let's go ahead and check out the matchup. Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Kenyon Martin Jr., Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Sengun. Alrighty, we should honestly smoke these boys. Let's go ahead and sweep them here as we win the very first game. Hopefully I didn't jinx it. Yeah, 1-1. I should have known, bro. Come on, man. Let's go ahead and make this a 9-man rotation. Like, I really shouldn't have to do this against the Houston Rockets, bro. I'm not going to take away minutes from Bruce Brown because I definitely need that, like, shooting guard, small forward. So I think it's going to be Santi Aldama that we take away minutes from. Actually, now let's go ahead and do Xavier Tillman because I definitely prefer Aldama just because of the size. So we're going to do it like that. Give some more minutes here to Bruce Brown. Not like it's a whole lot, but I need Ja Morant at the 40 range. I need Desmond Bane up there. Mikal Bridges. I need Jaren Jackson Jr. as well. Yeah, man, we got to do it like that. Honestly, I think that's the best thing we can do as we'll take that down as well. Cool. All right, I think that's about as good as it's going to get. We shouldn't be having to do this against the Houston Rockets. Let's go ahead and get into this thing here. 2-2. Okay, cool. 3-2. Yup. And there we go. All right, man, now we're going up against the Los Angeles Lakers, a rematch from last season. Can we get our revenge here? It's the same team. We got D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Jared Vanderbilt, and Anthony Davis. Come on, man. Let's get this win here. As we go game 1, we take it. That's nice. 2-0. Okay. 2-1. Didn't expect to sweep them. 3-1. Come on, man. Gentlemen sweep. No, not quite. 3-2. No game 7. There we go. We're here in the Western Conference Finals, so we already have accomplished season number 1's goal. We upgraded our small forward, and we made it to the conference finals. But we're here, man. Let's go ahead and try to win it all this year. As we're going up against the Pelicans, I was about to just start simming. I'm excited, man. Let's go ahead and take a look at the matchup instead, though. It's CJ McCollum, Dyson Daniels, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Jonas Valanciunas. Same squad pretty much, at least the starting lineup. So let's get into it. As we win game 1, nice. We win game 2, okay. 3-0, okay. And there it is, man. We're here in the NBA Finals, led by Ja Morant, now a 98 overall, Western Conference Finals MVP. You love to see it, man. Now we're going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is going to be tough. As we take a look at the matchup, it's Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Jonathan Isaac, who actually ends up on this team a lot in Sim. I don't like that because Jonathan Isaac is crazy in 2K. At the 4, they got Evan Mobley, and then at the 5, Jared Allen. This is going to be tough, but I think we can do it, man. Like, we're better in real life. This team is better, but 2K loves the Cavaliers. Can we beat them as we win game 1? Okay. 2-0. Okay. Okay. 2-1. Yeah. Come on, man. I'm going to shorten the rotation just a smidge, man. Just a smidge here, as I'm going to make it like this here. We're going to knock that down to like 10. We're going to knock this down as well. I just need to get like, yeah, they need to get up to the 40 range, honestly, just like that. Desmond Bane needs some more minutes as well, and we're going to do it like that, I guess. Is that going to be enough to win it all? Let's go ahead and find out as we simulate game 5. We lose it. Come on, boys. Come on, let's just go Simcast. I don't really want to make any more changes. Like, I think this is as good as it's going to get as we tie in the first quarter. Okay. Yep, we win that second one. High scoring. We're here, man. I think we're going to pull it out. Yeah, okay. Game 7, let's just jump right into it here. Can we win a title in year 1? That would be ideal. As we lose the first quarter, bounce back in the second. We're here, boys. We are here. Are we going to win it all? It's looking like we are. Memphis! Let's go. We've won a championship in our first season. All it took was kicking out Dylan Brooks and bringing in Mikal Bridges, also Bruce Brown off the bench. Can't forget about that. But yeah, man, most importantly, John Morant was a beast. 30 points, 13 assists, shooting that thing 44.4% from deep. Yes, sir. Finals MVP, man, and we've already done it. Of course, this video is going to keep going. I just want to see how many rings I can win during these first 3 seasons, so let's keep it moving, man. Let's try to go back to back. So our 2 first-round picks are going to the Brooklyn Nets from that Mikal Bridges trade. 23rd overall and 30th overall. Well worth it, man. I'm not complaining. Let's go ahead and skip the draft. So the first guy we got to pay is Tyus Jones. He has no offers, luckily, so we can knock this thing down, man. On a team-friendly deal, that would be great. We're going to make this 10.99 just because I'm petty, and we are going to make it a 3-year deal just to get him a little bit more interested. There we go. Done deal. And I also need to bring back Xavier Tillman, who does not have any offers either. Let's go ahead and knock this thing down, man. You guys know the deal. I got to save whatever money I can because I do have a qualifying offer out right now for Desmond Bane. If somebody offers him something, I'm going to have to match it. So if I can save some money elsewhere, I'm definitely going to do that. I'm really hoping that doesn't happen though, man. Let's go ahead and see if Bane picks up another offer. And it looks like he did. The Clippers are trying to give him a 1-year, $24.25 million deal. I honestly thought it'd be worse, man, like in the 30 range. So we can definitely match this. Jaws now at 98. We got Jaren Jackson Jr. at an 89. Mikal Bridges 88. Desmond Bane 87. Yeah, nothing too crazy, man. Steven Adams though, down 3 to a 76. We definitely have to find a new starting center. Because I mean, it could be like Brandon Clark, Xavier Tillman. I still like them off the bench. I think ideally I would want to get a new starter. We don't have to do anything too crazy because we did just win a championship, but that's definitely something to consider. As we did get some progression down here, David Roddy up 2, Jake LaRavia up 2, Kennedy Chandler up 3, and then Ricky Council also up 2. Cool, man. Let's go ahead and move on to season number 2, where we're going to try to go back to back. Let's get into it. So I think the new starting center I want to go after is Jakob Poeltl, who is on a very interesting Toronto Raptors team. They don't have Pascal Siakam in the mix anymore, but somehow they brought in Jaylen Brown and Tyrese Halliburton. This is an interesting team, man. Kind of youngish. They're moving towards that direction. So I think they'd be willing to move on from Jakob Poeltl, especially when they still have Precious Achiuwa in the mix. So we're going to try to pull this thing off, man. It's not a crazy upgrade, but I think he's just a solid center who can protect the rim. He won't do a whole lot, but I think he'll do enough. I'm going to give them Steven Adams just because he's on an expiring deal. Obviously, he wouldn't be a part of their future plans. And then I'm also going to give them a young piece here in Jake LaRavia. Now, they don't have Pascal Siakam in the mix anymore. Like I said, Jake LaRavia could get an opportunity to shine there. He hasn't gotten that with us, but he's a power forward, 22 years old, former first-round pick. I think this is someone they would be interested in. Can we just get this deal straight up, man? Let's go ahead and see. And we can. Jakob Poeltl, welcome to the team. And honestly, I'm not looking to do anything too crazy, man. We just won a championship. We upgraded our starting center. I think we're solid. We got John Morant, Desmond Bane, Mikal Bridges, Jaren Jackson Jr., and now Jakob Poeltl in the mix. Sounds like a really good starting lineup to me. Off the bench, we still got Tyus Jones, Xavier Tillman, Brandon Clark, Santi Aldama, and Bruce Brown. I still kind of want to bring in that small forward off the bench, but hey, it didn't hurt us last season. Bruce Brown is already someone who can play undersized. We know that. He played a little bit of small ball power forward with the Nets for a while, so I think he'll be good at the 3 for us. Honestly, man, I feel really good about this team. I think we can win another championship. Let's go ahead and sim this regular season and see how it plays out. So we finished 66-16, and man, you love to see it. John Morant MVP, 29 points, 7 rebounds, 11 assists. He was doing his thing. That's a really good sign for us this season. As we take a look at the other Curry brother, Jerry Curry, now in the mix, Rookie of the Year. Shout out to him, I guess. Does any of this here concern us? We actually didn't get Coach of the Year. Oh man, 68-14, the Cleveland Cavaliers. We got competition, man. That's a little bit scary. But all right, I'm up for it. Ja Morant, All NBA first team, of course, since he got an MVP. Do we have anything else here that does concern us? It doesn't look like it, man. Not even an all defense team for Jaren Jackson Jr. That's kind of crazy, but let's go ahead and keep it moving, man. Top team in the Western Conference. As you guys know, we are the second best team in the league, right behind none other than the Cleveland Cavaliers, 68-14. All right, let's take a very quick look at the stats here, see what this is looking like. Leading scorer, Ja Morant. You guys already saw the stats. Ridiculous. Mikal Bridges, though, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Still shooting that thing well from deep. Oh, yeah. And Desmond Bane as well. Another 20 points per game score. That's really good. Jaren Jackson Jr. took a little bit of a step back scoring-wise as we take a look at his stats here. But I'm not too worried about him, man, because everybody else is also shooting that thing. So there's only so many shots to go around. Still, though, he's averaging 2 blocks per game. We like to see that. And overall, man, I feel really good about this squad. Let's go ahead and get into it here. Let's not waste any time. We're going up against the Denver Nuggets. That's a tough first round matchup because they still have Jokic and OG Anunoby now in the mix. Okay, that's an interesting team, man. Jamal Murray, OG Anunoby, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic. Yikes, this might be tough. I have a bad feeling about this, but let's go ahead and get into this thing as we win the first game. Okay, 2-0. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I was going to say, we're not going to sweep these boys. Okay, let's not get too crazy here. I would have been just fine with the gentleman sweep. Let's make this a 9-man rotation. As we had the Rockets gave us some problems in the first round last year. I guess we're just one of those teams that struggles to get out the gates, man. Let's go ahead and see. I want to find some more minutes here for Bruce Brown, same as last time. I guess I'm going to take it away from Brandon Clark, man. Last time it was Xavier Tillman, but he's an 80 overall now, so I guess I'm going to give it to him. He's got the slight edge over Clark. And yeah, let's go ahead and get some more minutes. I need a lot more minutes. Tyus Jones, I love you, man, but we got to get that thing down there. Same for you guys as well. Yup, just like that. Let's go ahead and get some minutes to the Stars, man. It's the playoffs. We got to get some more minutes to them. I think that's pretty good here, like that. Desmond Bane's got to go up to like 35, 36, and one more for Jakob. All right, let's get into this thing. Can we close it out? There we go. Okay, cool. Going up against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who do they have on the squad? They have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, DeAndre Hunter now in the mix. Jerry Curry also starting for them, and then Chet Holmgren at the 5. Okay, let's get into this thing, man. This is a decent squad, but we're better as we win game 1, lose game 2. Okay, 2-1 us, 3-1 us. Gentlemen sweep? Nope, not quite. Please no game 7. Man, don't do this to me, man. Do I even want to make any changes? Like, I feel pretty good about the squad, man. I really do. Xavier Tillman's on fire. I'm going to give just a little bit more minutes to him, especially because he's like a 4-5, just like Santi Aldama is. So I think we're good with that. Yeah, man, I kind of feel like that's it, honestly. I really do. I'm going to give just a little bit more to Jackson and Bridges. And let's just go ahead and simcast this thing, man. Let's go ahead and see if we can get out of this this second round here. That would be really tough if we don't win this. Okay, so back and forth in the first quarter ends up being a split. We lose the second quarter. Third quarter is a big one for us. Let's go. I think we're fine. Never mind, bro. What just happened? We absolutely blew that fourth quarter, man. That's so tough, man. Ja Morant, 20 points. I know he had 11 assists, but I need more from you, Ja. I really do. As Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 36-12, led the way. Jerry Curry, not really making any three-pointers, so I guess he's not really much like his siblings. But that's so brutal, man. So we end up losing in the second round for year number 2. I wanted to go back-to-back, but it is what it is, man. As this is the Jazz, led by Victor Wembanyama, winning it all. Okay, cool. And it's Victor Wembanyama, Finals MVP. Alrighty, let's go ahead and move on to season number 3, man, where I really want to win another ring. Let's try to make that happen. So we do have the 28th overall pick. However, it's still going to Brooklyn as a part of that Mikal Bridges trade. That's totally fine. I don't really need young players at this point because I'm trying to win now, man. So let's come straight over here to team/player options. We're skipping the draft, and let's just go ahead and see what we got to do here. We got to bring back David Roddy, and we got to bring back Kennedy Chandler. We're also going to bring back Ricky Council just because he's a young guy. Can't really afford to let him go for nothing. If anything, he has trade value. So we're going to do that. We're also going to do the qualifying for Santi Aldama. That's pretty easy. The guy that we got to pay is Desmond Bane. Let's go to see what that's looking like, man. Here he is, unrestricted free agent, no offers, expecting over 35 M's, bro. I can't do that. I can, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to knock this thing down, man. If he has no offers, I would love to get this down to like 26.99. Honestly, that would be ideal for me. Let's go ahead and see if he'll accept, and he will. Cool. So we don't have a whole lot of progression, and honestly, it's not because we're that old. I think it's just because we're kind of capping out in terms of our ceiling here, which is totally fine. I mean, we got a 98 here in John Morant. We got Jaren Jackson Jr. 89, Mikal Bridges 88, Desmond Bane 87. That's pretty crazy, man. So I'm totally fine that they're not progressing much more. We do have some other guys here who are going up. Ricky Council IV is now a 76. He went up 3. Kennedy Chandler is now a 77. He went up 3. Xavier Tillman went up 1. David Roddy went up 1. He might even get some minutes for us. So let's go ahead and keep it moving, man. Season number 3, our last year. Can we win a second title? Let's go ahead and find out. So I've been procrastinating it for the past few seasons, but I do think I really want a backup small forward, somebody who has some really good size, somebody who can still knock down shots and defend. Ricky Council, I guess right now would be that guy for us. He's a guy that we drafted with the 25th overall pick in 2023. Yeah, he hasn't played it all for us, but just looking at his grades, he's able to defend. His 3-point shot, though, is pretty bad, man. D+. So I'm going to look around, see if I can find an upgrade. If I can't, we'll just stick with Council, but let's go ahead and see what's out there. All right, so I lied. I know I said I wanted a small forward with a little bit more size. I looked around, couldn't find it. I'm going after Josh Hart, man. He could be that shooting guard small forward for us. I know I've traded for him a few times in some previous rebuilds, but can you blame me, man? He's just one of those guys that every team could use. You know, he can defend really well, and he can even knock down some 3-point shots every once in a while. Nothing too crazy, but this past year, above league average from deep. That's really nice. So we're going to try to pull this thing off, man. I'm willing to give them Brandon Clark because once we get to the postseason, I always end up benching either Xavier Tillman, Brandon Clark, or Santi Aldama. I'm going to give up Clark just because he's the most expensive guy and the oldest one at 29 years old. I'll also give them Kennedy Chandler, a 5'11" point guard. I don't really have any use for that because we got Tyus Jones. Obviously, we got John Morant as well. So he's 23 years old. That might be a little bit enticing for the Bulls, who, 1, need another point guard. Right now, all they have is Lonzo Ball. And 2, they're not really looking to compete a whole lot. I think it's only a matter of time until they move on from Lonzo or Zach LaVine because they don't have DeMar DeRozan on the team anymore, and they don't have Vucevic. So they're starting to look towards the future. Getting a young piece would be really big for that. Let's go ahead and see if we can pull this thing off, man, and we can. Josh Hart, welcome to the team. And that's the squad. We got John Morant, Desmond Bane, Mikal Bridges, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Jakob Poeltl at the 5. Same starting lineup. I don't think we need to make any changes there. Off the bench, we got Tyus Jones. We got Josh Hart now. We got Xavier Tillman, Santi Aldama, and David Roddy, who I am going to take out here for Ricky Council just because he's got a little bit more size. Roddy's 6'4", while Council is 6'6". So he'll be our backup small forward. Hart will be our backup shooting guard. I think that looks pretty good to me, man. Let's go ahead and sim the regular season and just see how it plays out. So we went 61-21. Victor Wembanyama now getting MVP. He always does that by like year 3. He's just a beast, man. There's not much else you could say about it. As we take a look at the rest of this here, does any of this concern us? It doesn't look like it does. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and keep it moving then. Anything here on the All-NBA teams? John Morant, All-NBA 3rd team. That's nice to see. Taylor Hendricks also here. That's interesting. Anyways, let's go ahead and keep it moving here. Let's not get distracted because it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, man. Your boy's ready to go to sleep. So let's go ahead and wrap this thing up here. We are the number 2 seed behind the Utah Jazz. So we have some competition. Are we the second best team in the league at least? We're not. Oh, man, there's a lot of good teams. The Utah Jazz, 63-19, best team in the West. But the Cleveland Cavaliers, 67-15. And also the Atlanta Hawks, 63-19. Yeah, we got some competition, man. But I still feel pretty good about this, man. As we take a look at the stats here, John Morant, 23 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists. Stats went down a little bit, but we just have such a well-balanced team, man. Mikal Bridges, 20 points. Desmond Bane, 18 points. Jaren Jackson Jr., 17. Still got Tyus Jones doing his thing off the bench. I feel pretty good, man. Let's go ahead and get right into it. We're going to go up against the Golden State Warriors in the first round. Who do they have on the squad? It's Jordan Poole, Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, and now Bobby Portis Jr. at the 5. Okay, so no Clay, no Draymond, at least in the starting lineup. Let's go ahead and take this game by game here. We win the very first game. We win the second game. Okay, 3-0. Let's sweep them, boys. There we go. Okay, cool. Now we're going up against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I wanted this matchup, man. They beat us last season in the second round. it looks like they have the same team. I'm pretty sure it's the same squad, at least in terms of starting lineup. So let's go ahead and get right into it then. We take game 1 here. We take game 2. Okay, 3-0. All right. And there we go, man. Revenge has been served. We get a clean sweep on the OKC Thunder, and now we're going up against the Utah Jazz, who have Victor Wembanyama. We know that much. They also have Colin Sexton, Ochai Agbaji, Isaac Okoro, and Walker Kessler. That is a big front court, man. Let's get into this thing. We haven't shortened the rotation just yet, and I'm going to do that right now because we lost game 1. So we're going to make this a 9-man rotation, and I don't know who I want to take away minutes from. Yeah, I guess Ricky Council. It's his first season playing. What did he end up doing for us? About 7 in the playoffs, 6 in the regular season. Shooting that thing all right, I guess, in the playoffs at least. Yeah, we're cool with taking minutes away from him. Let's go ahead and get these minutes up for the rest of the guys, though, man. Tyus Jones, they really love him. I'm not giving him 30 minutes a game, man. It's just simply not happening. We're going to have to knock this thing down here. It is what it is, man. It's the playoffs. I need to get these guys close to like that 40 range, honestly. So yeah, if I can bump that up here like that, then I think that looks good to me. Desmond Bane, I feel like he needs more minutes, man. I really do. I hate taking away minutes from the bench because we got some good guys there, but these guys need more minutes. That's the top priority. So let's get into this thing, man. Game number 2, we lose it again. Okay, 2-1. All right, let's bounce back, man. I don't want to make any changes. I feel good about it, and we're up 3-2. There we go. 4 straight wins over the Utah Jazz, and here we are in the NBA Finals going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. We beat them once. Can we beat them again? They got the same team. Let's not waste any time, man. Let's get right into this thing as we lose game 1. Okay, win game 2. There we go. They're another young team, so they've gotten better. It's 2-2 now. Come on, man. Let's end this thing. Let's end this thing, man. The Memphis Grizzlies have won it all. Once again, Ja Morant, Finals MVP. We love to see it, man. Now a 99 overall. Shout out to him. And shout out to us, man. 2 titles in 3 years. I'm pretty happy about that, man. I'm not going to lie. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please do leave a like and subscribe. This has been 2KJ. Blessings.